He stopped her before she could make a scene. And he tells her Adrian to get some rest so they can resume breakage in the morning. Kim appears to acquiesce, and Tyler leaves. Kim ain't done though. She is spoiling to pick a fight. Caroline and Bonnie arrive at the Salvatore house, and they, along with Elena, proceed to party like it's 1999. She tells them that the boys went out for some brother bonding time, because that's what they told her. Caroline, of course, is the only one who knows that this is not entirely true. Elena demonstrates that she can now drink from a blood bag, and though it's obvious Caroline knows what that really means, she says nothing for now because she promised Stefan she wasn't going to tell Elena about Cyrone. The girls continue to enjoy themselves. Bonnie actually snapped a picture of her on her cell phone. Elena running at advanced speed. Of course, I think we all know that entire montage was pretty much just a large amount of product placement for the cell phones. They continue to enjoy themselves with advanced speed antics and dumb Perignon and Wassett. Like she literally raids the Salvatore wine cellar. All the while, she shoots off texts to Damon to check in and let him know they've rated the good stuff. This is cute. Every so often while he's down there, he's checking his cell phone because she keeps texting him like every 5 minutes. No, not every 5 minutes, but she texts him every so often. She never even did that for Stefan. It's just funny. Let's see. Caroline, it's too good to be true. Her keeping her mouth shut. She starts to get bitchy again for a moment, extolling on the evil that is Damon. But Elena is not in the mood for a crap. She even starts in on Bonnie's friendship with Shane. Granted, she may be right about that guy, but honestly, Care, shut the fuck up. Can you try to be a decent friend for once and quit with the uber judging? Even Bonnie doesn't get as mouthy, and she has even more reason to hate Damon than Caroline does. Caroline apologizes grudgingly and promises to leave her judging at the door for the rest of the evening. Yeah, right. Down in New Orleans, Stefan and Damon are scouring the streets looking for the old witch's shop, but Damon can't seem to find it. The place has changed way too much since 1942, and the shop may not even be there anymore. Doubtless the fact Damon doesn't even remember where. During this exchange, Damon and Stefan argue over Stefan's reasons for wanting the bond broken, not necessarily so that she can have free will, but so that she can go back to being Stefan, loving Elena, that he can have for himself. Stefan just wants her to see that Damon is not right for her at all, and he proceeds to completely shit all over Damon, left, right, up, down, and center. You're not right for her, you're selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed, sociopathic, lots of S's. Calling him a selfish, self-absorbed asshole who cares about nobody but himself. Wow, Steph. Really? Pot, kettle, black? You have some nerve accusing Damon of taking advantage when you clearly took advantage of Jeremy and used him to fix Elena. He asked Damon to name one time that Elena has not done something she was told to do by him. Dude. A lot of fans have already discussed this one online. We can give you a list. You want the short version or the long version? He continues to insult Damon, and you can tell at this point Damon is actually, he's hurt. And it takes a lot to hurt him. And this actually hurts him to think that Stefan, thinks he's that kind of person now. He likes to pretend that he doesn't care, but that's not true. The look in his eyes speaks volumes. Stefan realizes he's crossed a line and tries to apologize, but Damon blows him off, saying that their only other recourse is to look for Charlotte. Cue flashback here. This centers on Stefan and Lexi. They enter the club in New Orleans in 1942, where Damon happens to frequent. They knew that he was there. That's not the only reason that he's there. He's supposed to be shipping out from there to go in the army, but as coincidence had it, Damon had been living there for a while. Apparently, Stefan was wanting to reconnect with his brother. He's been with Lexi, I would say, about 20 years, probably since the Klaus Chicago debacle fiasco thing. Because I remember him saying that she found him there in a total blood feud and took him better part of 30 years to pick himself back up. She's been helping him to keep the Ripper at bay. I don't know about y'all, but it didn't seem to me like he was ready for that kind of large crowd of people. But he goes over to Damon and says hi. Yeah, the way he was acting when he walked into that club, he was seriously on a thin edge. He wasn't ready to be there at all. I mean, he was having to use breathing techniques just to deal with being around that large group of people. I think Lexi might have made a mistake. Damon is wary at first, but shakes his hand with a smile and invites him to sit down. Stefan tells Damon that he's shipping out the next day to Egypt as an ambulance driver. They swap some stories, and they actually have a nice time. They laugh together, and it seems like they're enjoying reconnecting and hooking back up and being brothers again. And Damon's excited. He's glad to see him, and he wants to have the chance to be with his brother again. Of course, snarkiness with Lexi ensues, or what do you expect? That's just the way that Damon and Lexi are. Damon says he actually might be interested in coming along, and Stefan says he'll talk to his CO. They seem to be getting along very well, and Damon is making a genuine, wholehearted effort to mend fences with his brother. As they're talking some more, Charlotte inexplicably shows up, carting around a half-dead woman that she's already fed on and offers her to Damon for dinner. Damon can't believe what he's seeing and resolutely tells Charlotte to get the fuck lost. I mean, she's literally carrying this woman, and her head lolls over like this, and you can see the fang marks on her neck and the blood. And the minute that Stefan sees that, done! Charlotte leaves in tears, dropping the body right into poor Stefan's lap. Lexi had already told Damon that he needed to leave Stefan alone. Damon had no restraint, and Stefan does not need that in his life. She wants Damon to let Stefan go to Egypt by himself. Damon tells her to back off, but the incident with Charlotte only proves to Lexi that she is right about Damon. As Stefan is holding the body, he gets a little bit of blood on his fingers, and as soon as he sees it, done. In his fragile state, he's on the verge of losing it, and Lexi has to swoop in and remove Stefan from the building before things get even worse. Damon was in absolute shock. I mean, he was horrified that Charlotte would do something like that, and he felt genuinely like, he's like, Stefan, oh my God, are you okay? I mean, he didn't want that to happen to his brother, honestly. He's horrified that he might have caused Stefan to lose control again. It is assumed, postulated, theorized, actually quite a bit mentioned in this episode, and a little bit mentioned in episodes before, in previous seasons, that we already knew from last season that Stefan was the butcher of Monterey, or the Ripper of Monterey back in 1912. It is postulated that Stefan was in a good place, and Lexi left him to his own devices. Damon might have caught up with him and might have given him a bad push in the wrong direction and caused him to go off the rails again. And yeah, it was bad. And I don't think Damon and Stefan had seen each other since. Probably not, because he had said the last time I went off the rails took me 30 years to recover myself. Because that 10 years from like 1912 to 1920-ish, he was rippering, and then Lexi found him, and she had to help him all the way up until this point in time. Stefan, he worries about Stefan and blames himself. He knows now that Charlotte's taken the firebomb too far. Gee, you think? Because maybe when she broke the sailor guy's neck before, there wasn't kind of a tip that the chick is a loon. She's crazy. Back in modern day, he tells Stefan that he blew town the next day, but not before telling Charlotte to count all the bricks on all the buildings in New Orleans. He figured that with distance and time, the firebomb would fade, since the witch's spell obviously didn't work. Poor Damon. Even poor Charlotte. Shit. Stefan heads towards the last spot that Damon left Charlotte, figuring that if she's been here this long, surely she must know where the shop might have moved to. Damon goes the opposite direction and winds up running right smack dab into Charlotte. Or rather, she runs headlong into him with a big smack on the lips. I would love it if, oh my god, I would love it if Elena had been there watching that. She would have pummeled the shit out of Charlotte. And I don't think Charlotte, it would be funny because they're both bonded to him. So you wouldn't know who would win. Charlotte's older and therefore stronger. So it's a good possibility Charlotte would rip her to shreds. Because they both are in love with him, but in a different way. Oh, and I just want to put this out there. I sincerely hope that the fans don't think that Elena's going to turn into some psycho bitch over this Bourbon, because Elena's not like that at all. It is said that when you become a vampire, the feelings you had when you were human are heightened. Whatever this woman felt for Damon, that was not love. That is glaringly obvious. That was pure obsession. This woman was nuts. Absolutely nuts. Elena, no matter how much she might love Damon, I think if he told her, can you kill this person, she wouldn't do it. She couldn't do it. It's not in her nature to do something like that. Now, if she really genuinely believed the person deserved to die, like the hunter, okay, that's one thing. But just some random dude? No. Let's see. Stefan hears the commotion and comes running over to pull her off of a very shell-shocked Damon. They come to find out that Charlotte spent her entire life doing exactly as Damon told her, counting bricks. I mean, literally, walking up and down the fucking streets, beating and counting bricks. Her Bourbon is still strong, but this chick definitely has a screw loose somewhere. I mean, yeah. She's nuts. Plain, straight nuts. Whatever she felt for Damon was obviously more obsession than love. You can't possibly equate how Elena feels to that. No way in hell. They're in utter astonishment that she's been living like this, and you can tell that Damon actually does feel guilty for causing this to happen to her. Because he had no idea that she was still like this. He thought that
Mommy, this bed fell.
He thought with her being gone, or with him being gone, that the Bourbon might have faded, but it didn't. They ask her about the witch, and she points them in the right direction.
Mommy, this fall.
Back at the Salvatore house, the girls are partying in Damon's massive bathroom. Elena is lounging in the tub, and everything seems to be all right with the world until Elena and Caroline get into it, because Caroline, Damon's Damon's evil, Damon's the devil, because she can't seem to shut up about how much she hates Damon. She said something to the effect of, I can't believe you want to be in that bathroom. It's probably got cooties from all of the skanks that Damon has slept with. Because he's such a man whore. And at that point, Elena's like, you know what? Shut the fuck up. I am so tired of your mouth. At least I wish that's what she would have said. Because that's what we were all thinking. Shut the fuck up. Like Klaus said, you're beautiful, but if you don't shut up right now, we will kill you. And she actually admits to sleeping with Damon. Caroline and Bonnie are shocked. Caroline's more angry than shocked, really. And, of course, she steps onto her high horse to declare how completely wrong it is for her to be with Damon in that way. Elena begs them both to just leave her alone about Damon, but Caroline just can't drop it. She inadvertently blurts out, again, because Caroline can't shut the fuck up, that the only reason she slept with Damon is because she sired him, and it would make him happy. And she has no control over her actions. Elena can't believe what she's hearing, but Caroline confirms that's why she can drink the bad blood now, and it's why Stefan and Damon left town to try and break the bond. Oh yeah, she didn't know Stefan already knew about this too, which made her even more mad, the fact that Stefan knew this and didn't say anything. Elena is so pissed off at this point that she tells them both the party's over and to leave. They try to reason with her, but she is just not hearing it. Thank you, Elena, for once, after 4 fucking years, for standing up for yourself. That's one positive thing I have to say about her, and now that she's turned, she's finally learned to stand up for herself on her own 2 feet. Thank you. No more Elena playing the eternal victim and or martyr. They try, let's see, just as she opens the door to show them where the hell to go, Kim and Adrian show up to crash the party. Dun dun dun. They grab Elena and Caroline and threaten to kill them both in front of Tyler. Well, actually, they grab Elena and Caroline. There's a tussle and a fight, and Bonnie tries to use her magic to stop them, but is only able to conjure up what amounts to a bunch of flashy parlor tricks. Couldn't really do the whole vampire headache thing. It's enough to distract Kim, though, giving Elena enough of an advantage to break free, even though Kim threatens to bite Caroline, which would be fatal. Elena gets free, but the two make off with Caroline. Dun dun dun. Stefan and Damon pay a call on a witch named Nandi, who seems familiar to Damon, but he's not sure from where. He asks her for help with the spell, but she claims that was all her grandmother's thing and she doesn't practice. This is funny. She says that she sells potions and herbs with little magic boo-boo for the tourists. I love how she says that. And side note, if anybody didn't notice, this actress is the same one that plays Tara's mother on True Blood. So one vampire show to another. Damon's not sure he believes her. Actually, I don't think Damon believes her at all. But she also tells him that even if she was practicing, she couldn't do anything about it, as all of her grandmother's grimoires and journals were lost during Katrina. Stefan looks defeated, but Damon is still dubious. He thinks that she's trying to pull a fast one. Something about Nanny doesn't seem right. Elena calls Tyler, and the two head through the woods to the hidden barn to meet with Kim. As they walk, Elena tries to nonchalantly bring up the sire bonding conversation, just kind of fitting in there to see how much Tyler knows. She doesn't get why they would be against Tyler. He's trying to help them. Does the bond make them love Klaus that much? Tyler says no. This is a pack dominance thing. If he can get Kim to submit, the other hybrids will fall in line. He reveals that the sire bond influences actions, not feelings. This makes Elena almost stop dead in her tracks. So, the sire bond might cause her to obey his commands, but it wouldn't cause her to love him. Swing! Ding, 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 ding. Number one revelation, which reinforces our original theory. Okay, we have no problem with the fact that she's sire bonded, but we know for a fact that her love for him is absolutely 100% bona fide real. Because if they made it not real, then yeah, I would just be, you know what, forget this crap. They make it to the barn to see Kim torturing Caroline by breaking her hand. She tells Tyler that if he doesn't back off, she'll kill her. He doesn't think she's serious until the doors open and the other 11 hybrids show up, her personal little pack army, ready to attack at a moment's notice. At this point, Tyler knows that words alone will no longer cut it. If he's going to be alpha, he's going to have to take it by force. He plunges his hand into Kim's chest and makes to pull her heart out, but doesn't. Now, this whole scene, I gotta say, I've kind of always been on the fence with Tyler because when he first started out on the show, he was a real ass. But like Caroline, ever since becoming the werewolf vampire, he's really come into himself as a character, and I'm starting to respect him a lot more. I feel bad that, he may be losing Caroline to Klaus, but that's neither here nor there at this point. I just don't want him to turn into Klaus in order to be alpha of this pack. I mean, they still have free will. They can come and go as they please. He's not going to hurt them like Klaus would. And I gotta tell you, this whole scene when she was doing that to Caroline, I was like, wow, you are so fucking lucky that Klaus does not know about this. Tyler took great pains to not show up in town freaking out so that Klaus wouldn't find out. Because one, he would learn that the hybrids are unsired, which I think in next episode he's going to learn anyway. And two, if he finds out that something happened to Caroline, yeah, it wouldn't matter if the hybrids were unsired. He'd kill them regardless, just for touching them. He tells the hybrids that he isn't Klaus and he's not going to kill her just to prove a point. The only way they can truly be free is to stick together and fight as one. He tells Kim that if she won't back down, he will kill her. She finally backs down and apologizes truthfully, knowing that Tyler truly is the alpha. The other hybrids kneel before him, following suit. And I guess after everybody leaves, they finish breaking Adrian. Back in New Orleans, Damon isn't ready to walk away from the witch just yet. He thinks she's lying. As it turns out, he isn't wrong. So there's a little scene there where he's talking to Charlotte, and they're like, "Damn, you've really been walking around here for 70 years counting bricks? Are you fucking batshit crazy?" And she's going on about, "Oh, the song that you associate with someone that you used to be with an ex, and every time you hear it, you think of them. Well, when I count the bricks, that's our song, Damon. Yeah, this bitch is crazy. She's beyond crazy. I kind of feel bad for her because she didn't deserve that. It seemed like she was crazy beforehand." So he asks Stefan, "Hey, you can help me double team this witch, good cop, bad cop, this witch, or what?" So he goes in to talk to her, and he calls her out, saying, "I believe that you are lying." As it turns out, he's not wrong. When he went to see the first witch back in the 40s, she had a daughter that was sitting there at a little table writing something, and Damon remembers seeing she was writing her name. It's Nandy. So she knows that the witch is not this woman's great grandmother, she was her mother. And Damon knows this because he remembers seeing her in the shop the first time. He calls her out and demands the spell because he believes that she's practicing. Nanny gives him the witchy vampire headache and is set to kill him when Stefan steps in to talk her down. He says they don't want any trouble, just the spell. They're desperate. Nanny tells him her mother only sold Damon the spell, which doesn't actually exist, because she wanted Damon to set events in motion for her to practice dark magic. She says it's not even dark magic. It's so evil that they don't even call it magic. They call it expression, which will come into play later. Damon sacrificed 12 human souls to break that original sire bond because the witch told him that was what was necessary for the spell to work. What she really wanted was to use the power of human sacrifice to channel dark magic, to channel expression. So she pretty much used Damon. She told him a bunch of shit about a spell and it wasn't even real. Nanny says that a vampire sarbon is extremely rare. Now this is what I call bullshit flagon, because if it was extremely rare, how the hell could it happen to Damon not once but twice? Really? Must not be that rare. And how about this question? If Stefan and Damon both were in love with Catherine that much, how come they didn't sire to her? Wow, I know, because they didn't love her. She compelled their love from beginning to end. Period. Is extremely rare because it only happens when the person being sired has feelings for their sire, feelings of deep love. As the Delana Shipperdom gives a rousing collective shout of joy, hurrah! Ding, ding, ding! Revelation number 2. So this puts us more at ease. We know everything is going to be okay. Now, Vampire Diaries writers always find some way to screw things up, but at least our suspicions have been founded. We're good. Let's see. The boys are floored. Damon looks like he doesn't know what to think, and Stefan looks even more heartbroken than before because he knows that there's nothing that he can do to fix it. Nandy says the only way to release a Sarbon is to set the person free. Tell them to forget about you, their feelings for you, and leave them. Move on. Both of them know exactly what this means. Damon sits down with Charlotte the next morning and tells her, question, he was sitting with her in like a cafe, and it was daylight outside because I could see the daylight the sun streaming through the windows. No concern about Damon there, but Charlotte, she spent 70 years counting bricks. I don't think she had time to get a daylight ring or a daylight piece of jewelry. So how in the fuck? I'm going to chalk that one up to a gaffe on the writer's part. Tells her to move on with her life so that he can be happy and move on with his. He tells her to stop counting bricks and have a good life, to forget about him and her feelings for him. She starts to cry, clearly upset, but says nothing more as he leaves. And Guess that's the end of Charlotte. As he meets up with Stefan outside, Baby Bro wastes no time reminding him what needs to be done, as if Damon really needs to be told twice. I mean, really, honestly, Stefan, come the fuck on. You think Damon doesn't feel brokenhearted and devastated enough that he has to do this, and he just got her in his life, and now he's going to lose her in the same instant? Damon is clearly devastated at the idea of having to let Elena go, especially after he's only just found her. He was finally chosen, finally loved, and it may not even have been real. The hurt he feels now is unimaginable. Cue flashback. Damon arrives at the train station to get ready to ship out with Stefan. Lexi shows up to stop him, saying that Damon is with him. Stefan will only get worse. Or did you forget what happened in Monterey? If you love him, then do what's best for him and walk away. Because apparently this whole thing is a bid for Stefan to pay penance for his sins. And walk away he does. Presently, they head back to Mystic Falls. Haley goes to see Shane again, and she tells him that the last hybrid, Adrian, finally broke. She demands the flash drive. Shane hands it over, saying that Haley's parents are deceased, but everything she wants to know about them is on the flash drive, including where they're buried. Haley is livid because she believed that they were still alive and that the flash drive would have information that would help her to find them. And she believes that she's now been used for nothing. He tells her not to worry, that she'll be able to see her parents again once he has his 12 hybrids for the spell. Okay, this dude is either Silas and needs Bonnie's magic in order to get his back, sacrificing these 12 humans using some sort of channeling expression, or he's trying to resurrect Silas. No buts about it. This dude's evil. Straight up evil. He's trying to act like he's not, but I'm telling you, the dude's straight up evil. Caroline and Elaine and Bonnie are back at the house, and they're packing up everything, their clothes and stuff, and they're about to leave. And Caroline swoops in, gives her a big hug, and tries to apologize for being such a hose beast, considering that Elena just helped to save her life. She promises not to be a judgmental shrew anymore, but yeah, we'll see how far that one goes. They hug and declare themselves friends again while Bonnie gushes about the latest developments in her studies with Shane. He's teaching her expression. Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, he just did. But we totally saw it coming. I might not like Bonnie that much, but I seriously do not want her to learn that kind of dark magic, because Nanny said that magic can come, if it comes out and it's used, it will destroy the world. I mean, literally, it will destroy everything. I don't know what the hell Shane's got planned, but apparently he doesn't care who lives or who dies. Later on that evening, Elena's is still at the house. She's cleaning up from the party, and Damon arrives from behind quietly, but she immediately senses his presence. This scene was just gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. We all knew that he had a heartbreaking decision that he had to make, and we knew it was going to be, he was going to have to let her go. He looks honestly heartbroken, devastated, and a million other things all rolled up into one. He doesn't want to do this, but he feels he's left with no other choice. Interspersed with more Caroline asking Stefan if he can trust Damon to do this. Yeah. Again, number three, intimate moment with Damon and Alina, interrupted yet again with Caroline. This is a thing. I swear, this is a thing. Look for it on your TV screen every time, and there is an intimate Delana moment. Stefan and Caroline must interrupt, just to piss us all off. Can you really trust him to tell her that? Because he could take advantage and use her and not bother to say anything. Stefan actually gives Damon the benefit of the doubt. He says, I know that he'll do it because he loves her as much as I do. Correction. He loves her more. Much, much more. And he will do it because he can't be selfish with her anymore. Whoa! That's Damon's line. Damon's line. But he does believe that Damon will do this for her. He says, we need to talk. And she says, I know. Caroline told me. I'm sorry to you. And he's kind of like, oh, shit. You can see his heart just like kind of drops into his chest. He's afraid she's gonna walk away from him. But she says, look, I know what you're gonna do, and I'm not gonna let you do it. What I feel for you is real. It doesn't matter about the sire bond. I know that. Sire bond doesn't change. It only influences actions, not feelings. I know that what my love for you is real. And he's like, you think this is easy for me? You know, I'm the bad brother. I'm the one who lies to his brother and falls in love with my brother's girlfriend. You know, I'm the bad guy. I'm not supposed to do this. But he wants to do right by her. He doesn't want their relationship to be a lie. He wants it to be real. He doesn't want to always have that question is, you know, is anything she says the truth or is it just influenced by the sire bond? And he's right on the verge, you know, of telling her to walk away, but it doesn't actually happen. The episode cuts off right there. So no one was sure. Is he going to tell her? Does he tell her? No, he does not tell her. If you looked at the preview for episode 9, which is Oh Come All Ye Faithful, Vampire Diaries' first Christmas special episode. This is next week's episode, which is the mid-season finale. Yes, I know we're all going to be offline for probably about a month, I would say, before the show comes back. It's okay. It's just a couple of weeks. You know, this happens every year. Gotta have time for the Christmas specials and for people to spend time with their families. Anyway, there's a clip in the preview where they're kind of kissy and stuff, so it's fairly obvious that he did not tell her. Oh Come All You Faithful is supposed to focus on Jeremy. Bonnie, Elena, and Damon take Jeremy up to the cabin, to her father's cabin in the woods to help him deal with his demons and his urges to kill. I don't know how that's going to work out. I have it on good authority that Klaus is supposed to find out Tyler's plan because now that all the hybrids are broken, Tyler's ready. He is absolutely ready to take out Klaus. I have a question here though. If he does take out Klaus, and they know that, you know, they've all been sired by Klaus, including Tyler and Caroline and all them, if Klaus dies, they all die. So what are they planning on doing? Are they just going to dagger him and leave him in a pine box? I mean, they could do that. I think that's probably the only way to deal with him. They can't kill him. I mean, honestly. And everybody dies. And that's not good. I don't know what the plan is, but I think things between Haley and Shane and whatever the hell he's got going on is going to be heating up dramatically. I know Klaus is going to find out that his sires are unbroken and he's going to go ape shit. And I've heard, spoiler-wise, that somebody that we've known all the way from since season 1 is going to bite the dust. I know this show too well, and I can tell you it's not going to be one of the main characters because that would just be ridiculous. If they can't kill off, especially not the main 3, Caroline, Tyler, Bonnie, not a good idea. I know it won't be any of the main characters because they're too important. I'm feeling it's going to be one of the lesser known characters we've known from season 1, and there's only a few that I can think of. Sheriff Forbes and Mayor Lockwood. I'm calling either one of those two. I don't think it's going to be Sheriff Forbes because she really hasn't been around in like ever to even show her face. So I don't think it's going to be her. I have dibs on Mayor Lockwood. I don't know why, but I just do. I think that because Klaus finds out what Tyler's been up to, that she's the perfect pawn to take the fall for his actions. So that's my theory. I could be wrong, but I know they would not be stupid enough to kill one of the main characters of the show. So I call Mayor Lockwood. Because obviously he's going to make Tyler pay for his indiscretion. So that's to me what makes the most sense. So anyway, that's all for my video log, and we'll see you guys next week for Oh Come All You Faithful. Peace out.